Hi everybody and welcome to REA's Tech Reviews. Today we're going to look at the Fantech Optiluxs MK884 keyboard. What I like about what Fantech did with their mechanical keyboards is they make top grade pro quality keyboards for a fraction of the price of the keyboards that you would get from Razer and SteelSeries and Logitech and all those other brands. So it's very good priced keyboards and the quality is so good of these keyboards, and especially this one. In South Africa, it only retails for 899 Rand, which means for 900 Rand, you could get a top quality mechanical keyboard, which is optical mechanical, for the same specs and even better specs than some of the other competitors. So let's jump into this review. Let's start with the unboxing of the Fantech Optiluxs MK884 RGB optical switch mechanical keyboard. Let's look at the box. Firstly, the box has the standard Fantech packaging as all the other Fantech products. On the box you'll see all the features of the keyboard. It has RGB color, 100% waterproof, which is claimed by Fantech and tested by them. It has a spectrum mode of 20 lighting spectrums. It has all key anti-ghosting, macro supported, dual shot injection caps, Windows lock button, and it has media keys according to this. So let's get to the unboxing. So you live in South Africa and want great gaming products at great prices? Then look no farther than Jammed.co.za. Here you can find some of the top quality gaming products that's to offer in South Africa at very affordable prices. They also have all the Fantech ranges here, as they are the sole supplier of Fantech in South Africa. They also have amazing mouse pads that you can find, which is very uniquely designed. Have a look at their website. Now let's have a look at the keyboard and the features. The keyboard is quite heavy. You can feel it is a metal frame that it has. So the metal frame makes it a bit heavy, this keyboard, but it's a good thing because it's a very good quality. So overall, this build quality of the keyboard is what impresses me. It's really a sturdy keyboard. This metal frame really does give it a very quality feel, and also the buttons of the keyboard and the switches, it's really amazing if you compare it to other keyboards with similar pricing and similar stature. I think Fantech literally has probably the best keyboards for the best prices. So that's why we're really excited about this keyboard. Now, design wise, you'll see that the keyboard has this metal frame. On the top it has this curve of the metal frame that looks quite nice. On the side is where your RGB LED lights is. So there you'll see that there is grooves where all the lights are, and it also looks very nice, this grooves. On the bottom side of the keyboard you'll see it has this edge, which is nice for me because it helps you that when you play that your palm doesn't get hurt, because it has a smooth edge. There's no hard metal that's going to hurt your palm, so it's really good. This, then you have the Fantech logo, and on the other side you also have that curvings for the light. Going to the cable of the keyboard cable is braided. As you can see, it's braided, and it does have USB as well. So the keyboard really looks nice, and I do feel that this is not a bad quality keyboard. I'm going to plug it in now, and then we'll see how the features of the keyboard looks like. So here we have the keyboard plugged in. As you can see, just look at that beauty. Look at that RGB lighting effect of the keyboard. It just looks amazing. Even if you look at the bottom, the switches has this floating feel, so the lights does shine through the keyboard, so it looks astonishing. And even on the top, you'll see there that you have that lights shining through of the keyboard throughout, so it really looks amazing. On the side, you also see that the RGB lights there is very clear, and also on this side. Now, compared to the other two mechanical keyboards of Fantech that we have reviewed the Fanteon previously, and also the Optimax is on its way. But compared to those two keyboards, this one is the cheapest in South Africa. And specs wise, I feel it's really good compared by the pricing of this compared to the Fanteon. The only difference is that the Fanteon has the armrest together with it. This keyboard has a lot of features. Now, Fantech claims that this keyboard is 100% waterproof, and they tested it. And I've seen a lot of videos on Fantech's social media and YouTube of the Fantech keyboard, which is also 100% waterproof, where people even threw noodles and stuff over their keyboard and beer and everything. So the keyboard is waterproof, and I can vouch for that. I'm not going to submerge this one in water now while we review, but I do trust that if they say it's 100% waterproof, I feel it would definitely live up to that. So 100% waterproof keyboard, it helps a lot for when you do sometimes play games and you maybe spill your glass of cool drink or your glass of coffee over your keyboard, then at least you know you're not going to have to buy a new keyboard anytime soon. Then the keyboard also has optical mechanical switches. Now the difference also between this one and the Optiluxs and the Fantech is the Fantech and Optiluxs has blue optical mechanical switches, where this one has the orange optical mechanical switches. For me personally, I feel this switch is a bit softer, so the sound it makes is a bit softer. So that clicky sound is definitely for me softer on the Optiluxs than on the Optiluxs and the Fantech. The keycaps are fully injected, so the keycaps paint won't really get off while you play. It is double injection cap, so they did make sure that the paint sticks on this, so you won't have to worry about keys fading while you play. I think these keys are very durable, and you can feel also that the keycaps are really durable material. There'll be a close-up video for you as well where you can just have a look at it, but the keycaps really are good quality and it's sturdy. Then the switches, as you can see, the switches there are optical mechanical orange switches. It has the backlight LEDs there, which is actually quite good because there's LED lights at the back, makes it has a good reflection on your keycaps. As you can see there, the lights are very bright. Another thing that I can say that this Optiluxs has that the Fantech doesn't has, the Fantech's lights is for me a bit more dimmer. It's good enough, the Fantech lights, don't make a mistake, but this lights shine through brighter for me on the keys, so it's actually a very good keyboard. And like you can see here, that's the reason why, is because the LEDs are individually on each switch. The optical switches really makes a huge difference. I feel it's very responsive, and it really feels as if you can literally click each button and it will pick up everything you do. So I do love the optical switches. And what is the optical switches? What makes them so great? So basically, where you had your mechanical switches had like a metal plate that need to touch. So when you clicked your keys, that two metal plates needed to touch each other, and that would send a response through to your computer. With the optical switches, there's a laser light. So when you click your switch, as soon as that laser light is broken by the click down of the switch, that laser light sends a response to your computer, and that's much faster, and Fantech claims it's 30% faster than normal mechanical keyboards. What I also like about this keyboard is that each key has its individual light, so you can literally change each individual key light of this keyboard. So for instance, if you want to make your WASD a different color and your arrows a different color, you can make your WASD red, your arrows blue, you can make your shift and enter different colors. So you can customize this keyboard so that each of the keys has their own individual colors, and that's an amazing feature. It's something you don't really get with all the mechanical keyboards, only the top grade keyboards. So for me, that's a feature you really need to consider, is like every key light is customizable. The same goes for the Fantech and the Optiluxs. You can literally customize everything on this keyboard. Then the keyboard also has a few function buttons, as you can see here on the top. So when you hold in the function button, you can change most of the stuff here on top. Now what I've noticed is from this keyboard that differs from the Fantech and the Optiluxs is that the Fantech had volume function keys here to the top, where the Optiluxs doesn't have it. The Optiluxs has your desktop, internet, calculator, music, your skip music skip buttons, your pause and play, and your stop button, search, favorite, lock key, and your email. So it has all of that features, but as you can see, there's no volume keys here that's basically stock to the keyboard. But you can customize what each key does on the keyboard. So you can set up in your software for this keyboard that, for instance, if you don't use really this keys here, or you don't use this keys here, you can customize it so that your volume keys will be here, or your volume keys will be on your arrows. You can customize it to how you want it to. So that's a good feature for a keyboard as well. Now getting to the lighting effects of the keyboard. On the keyboard here you have function buttons that says L1, L2, L3 up until L6. So here you can change your lighting buttons. You also here have the cycle button for the lights, the brightness of the lights, and also the stop and record button. I think this button is probably best for when you do video recording and editing. You can use this button to stop and record and all that stuff for your mic. So let's get to the light features. The light features of the keyboard, you'll see if you press L1 one time, there's one of the lighting effects. And what also is nice about this keyboard is you can customize your lighting effects on the side of this keyboard. So to do that, you just press your function button. Let's do this function button, and you press escape, and there you'll see it's solid red, green, yellow, all the colors, and it also has the RGB. So you can also change that by holding the function button and escape, and for all the other lighting effects you hold function and L1 to L6, and you can also switch off the lights and change the cycle speed. So that's basically the functions of the keyboard. So the design of the keyboard, basically you'll see that the keyboard has a very unique design, and at the bottom of this keyboard, the keyboard does have rubber feet at the bottom and the top side, even with the lifting feet still down. So it means if you don't play with a keyboard on a lifted angle, it still has good enough rubber feet to not make it move around. As you can see, when a keyboard is put down, you have to push it very hard to move it. It really sits solid to your desk, as you can see. It is a solid keyboard. You can also lift your feet off this keyboard, and when you lift it, you'll see that it has red rubber there at the feet as well, which is a very good thing. So even if you play with a lifted angle on your keyboard still has rubber feet, so if you use it, it won't move around at all. It's a very sturdy keyboard, and this keyboard's material, like I said, it has a metal frame here on top with the screws that stick out. It actually gives it a very good feel, but the keyboard is so sturdy and it's so tough. I don't think that this keyboard will break anytime. I mean, look at this. I'm forcing it and bending it, but it doesn't even bend. This is a very sturdy keyboard. So Fantech, well done. All your mechanical keyboards are really made sturdy. Even the Fantech and Optimax, it's not a keyboard that's going to break by letting it fall. And like I said, it's waterproof, so you can even spill some water on it. Let's jump into the sound test of this keyboard. You can download the Fantech software for the Optiluxs MK884 on any of the Fantech websites. We also have a link in the description of this video below where you can also click to download the software. Now on the software you can customize quite a lot of stuff. First thing here is you can set different profiles. You can set different profiles for your keyboard on this setting there. Under the customize key, you'll see that the keyboard has a lot of customizability. You can, for instance, click on any of the keys and change the function of that key. So you can, for instance, like see this keyboard, mouse, macro, combo key, run program, multimedia, Windows hotkey, forbidden, etc, etc. So you can do a lot of customization there on the keys, which is actually quite good. Then you can also go to the lighting of the keyboard, where you'll see there's so many lighting effects that you can change. Now remember, the lighting you can also change on the keyboard itself with the buttons, but you can also change it to different settings, static, single, on, and all the other settings. But what's nice about this lighting settings, you'll see there's a lot of customizability. I don't want to go into too much details with this lighting settings, but one thing that I do want to show is there's a user-defined one where you can literally map each of the keys of the keyboard to an individual color. So if you, for instance, like your WASD keys to be red or blue, whatever, you can just say W must be red and the A must be red, and the S must be red, the D must be red, and you can literally customize your keyboard so that all of the keys here are literally individually lit up like you set it up. So you can actually customize the lighting of each of these keys on the keyboard, which is an awesome feature. So I really like that. You can also click here like all the WASD, all the keys, the arrow keys only, the number keys, the function keys. So you can customize your lighting quite a lot on this keyboard, which is actually quite good. So I actually like that feature. Then there also is a gaming mode where you can put gaming mode on. As soon as gaming mode is on, you can select here and say, when gaming mode is on, my Alt tab, my Alt F4 and my Windows key must be disabled. And then you know nobody control you with the Alt F4 or the Windows key, and that's going to help you a lot. Takealot. Then you also have the macro settings where you can set up macros for a keyboard. I'm not a big fan of macros. I don't really use macros, but you do have the function to set up your macros for the keyboard as well. So overall verdicts of the Fantech Optiluxs keyboard, I feel this keyboard is definitely worth it. You can buy this keyboard in South Africa for only 899 Rand. Sometimes on special on Jammed page you can get it for even cheaper. So for that price, you're not going to get any other optical mechanical keyboard with all these features and this sturdiness and this quality for that same price. So I definitely say if you're a gamer with a budget of less than 1,000 Rand and you want a mechanical keyboard but can't afford the brand names like Razer and SteelSeries and Logitech and Corsair, all that other stuff, really consider getting this Fantech. This Fantech optical mechanical keyboard is in the top quality bracket. This keyboard is similar to the Phantom with all the loaded key features and a fraction of the price of it. So in my opinion, if you're looking for a mechanical keyboard, look no further than this Fantech Optiluxs keyboard. You're not going to regret it. It's going to be an exceptionally good experience with the keyboard and you're not going to look back on it. So thank you again so much for tuning in, guys. I hope you like our content. I hope you like our reviews. If you feel we can do anything better, please let us know. Please also like, subscribe and comment on all our videos. We would like to grow our YouTube community and also following. Also check out all our other social links. We do have a lot of stuff going on our Facebook and Twitter pages as well. And thank you again for tuning in. You guys are the fans that we do this for and we really appreciate your support. Everybody enjoy your day. Thanks. Bye.